Welcome to this explainer on mastering the 2026 interview landscape. If you're stepping into a job interview anytime soon, you really need to be prepared because AI is fundamentally changing the questions every single employer is asking right now. Today, we're going to decode the exact AI questions recruiters are using to separate the top candidates from the rest of the pack. Just imagine sitting in that interview hot seat. The recruiter looks across the table and hits you with, "So, have you ever used AI?" Or maybe, "How can AI improve your work?" If you felt a little knot in your stomach just hearing that, hey, don't worry. By the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly how to answer this, along with 24 other crucial AI-related questions with absolute confidence. And yes, that applies even if you've never used AI professionally before. We're breaking these 25 essential questions down into 4 logical themes. Number 1, defining core AI concepts. Number 2, discussing your AI experience. 3, navigating ethics and limitations. And 4, human skills and strengths. So let's dive right into Section 1, defining core AI concepts. We'll be mastering the essential vocabulary.
Question 1 is almost always going to be something like, what is artificial intelligence? Now, keep your answers simple and grounded. You really don't need to try and sound like a computer scientist here. Just explain that AI is technology enabling computers to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Things like understanding language, recognizing images, analyzing data, or making recommendations. That's literally all they're looking for.
And that leads us right into question 2. What is machine learning? Well, the key differentiator here is that computers learn from data instead of being manually programmed for every single task. A really perfect example to share in your interview is how Netflix recommends movies to you, or how Amazon recommends products based on your past behavior. Moving on to question 3, they'll likely ask, what is generative AI? This is a tech that actually creates new content. It doesn't just analyze data, it generates text, images, videos, music, and even software code from scratch. You can easily point to famous examples here, tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and various image generation models. Now, a really interesting comparison comes up in questions 6 and 7 regarding the difference between AI and automation. If the interviewer asks about this, use this exact contrast. Automation simply means using software to perform repetitive tasks automatically, like moving files around or sending scheduled reports. It blindly follows rules, kind of like a calculator. AI, on the other hand, learns and makes decisions. It acts a lot more like a smart assistant. Okay, you might also be asked about AI agents for question 10. You can confidently define them as intelligent software systems that act completely independently. They don't just sit there waiting for a single prompt, they actually plan, reason, use tools, and make decisions to complete entire multi-step tasks, all on their own. Rounding out our definitions for question 11, we have prompt engineering. If asked what this is, simply explain that it's the skill of writing clear instructions to get better AI results. We've all panicked a bit staring at a blank ChatGPT screen, right? But the golden rule is simple. Better, clearer prompts produce much better outputs. All right, moving right along to section 2, discussing your AI experience. This is all about showcasing tools and practical applications. So, questions 4 and 5 typically revolve around whether you've used AI and what tools you actually know. First off, never just answer with a flat yes. Elaborate. Explain that you've used AI to summarize documents, draft emails, or research information. When listing tools, mention a few you're genuinely comfortable with, like ChatGPT, Claude, Canva AI, or Perplexity. Remember, quality matters way more than quantity here. You definitely don't need to list everything, just the ones you truly understand. Prepare for a rapid-fire sequence in questions 16 through 20. Interviewers will want to know the extent of AI's capabilities. Can AI write code? Yes. Create presentations? Yes. Summarize PDFs, answer customer queries, and automate emails? Yes, yes, and yes. To all these broad capability questions, your answer should just be a quick, confident confirmation. Now here is an absolutely crucial point on how you handle questions 9 and 23 regarding how AI can help your job and affect your specific industry. Always, and I mean always, tailor your answer directly to your profession. If you're in marketing, talk about content creation. If you're in IT, mention troubleshooting. In HR, talk about resume screening. You want to show real optimism about how it increases productivity, rather than expressing fear that some robot apocalypse is coming for our jobs. To answer questions 15 and 22 about how you actually learn AI and what projects you've completed, outline practical steps. Mention that you explore YouTube, read official documentation, or practice on platforms like Google AI Studio. And look, even if you are completely new to this, tell them about a small project. Say something like, I built an automated email workflow, or I created presentations with AI. Those small projects absolutely count, and they show incredible initiative to an employer. Next up is Section 3, Navigating Ethics and Limitations. Let's talk about acing those tricky questions. For question 12, they're going to ask, can AI make mistakes? And the answer is absolutely yes. You have to acknowledge that AI can hallucinate or provide outdated information. Now, here is a great insider tip for you. The key takeaway for the recruiter is hearing you say, I always verify important outputs. Recruiters absolutely love that answer because it proves you're careful and grounded. Then, for questions 13 and 14, they might ask about responsible AI, or maybe if you trust it completely. You want to emphasize that responsible AI means using it ethically, protecting user privacy, and actively avoiding bias. And as for that question of complete trust, the answer is a hard no. AI is merely an assistant. Humans must always make the final decisions. Finally, we arrive at Section 4, Human Skills and Strengths. Let's bring this interview home. When tackling questions 8 and 21, which are usually about whether AI can replace humans and what skills remain important, provide a deeply professional answer. Firmly state that AI replaces repetitive tasks, not human creativity, leadership, communication, problem-solving, or critical thinking. Those uniquely human skills are incredibly difficult for AI to replicate. The reality is, people who learn to use AI simply become more valuable. And when you inevitably face question 24, why should we hire you? You want to use this exact phrasing. Say, I combine my professional experience with a willingness to continuously learn AI tools that improve productivity and business efficiency. It's a brilliant response because it shows that you can merge traditional, reliable expertise with forward-thinking tech adoption. And for the final question, number 25, what is your biggest strength? This script right here is your golden ticket. Highlight your adaptability by saying, technology changes quickly, and I genuinely enjoy learning new tools that help me work smarter. Honestly, that fits beautifully into almost every single interview scenario today. Which brings us to the ultimate secret behind all of these 2026 interviews. Employers aren't expecting perfection. They really don't expect you to know every little thing there is to know about artificial intelligence. What they genuinely want is someone who demonstrates the capacity and the eagerness to learn. If you understand the concepts we just went through and master these 25 questions, you are already miles ahead of thousands of other candidates. So I leave you with this final thought. Knowing that adaptability is your greatest asset in this new era, are you ready to step into that interview room and show employers just how adaptable you really are?